Content in this program will include discussion of residential schools and other sensitive subject matters. If you or anyone you know needs support, reach out to the National Residential School Crisis Line at 1-866-925-4419. To reach the Kids Helpline, text CONNECT at 686-868.
Since time immemorial, we've flourished on Turtle Island. This is our home, where we've raised generations upon generations of our children. Our languages, cultures, and ceremonies define who we are and our connection to this land. Great numbers of foreigners started arriving on our shores. Desires for furs drove them deep into our territories. Millions died through diseases that came with them. They also brought their system of education. All the while, our foods were disappearing and our lands stolen. We began to starve. Soon, their network of residential schools stretched from coast to coast to coast. We were forced to attend. They finally closed these schools in the 1990s. By then, generations of us had attended.
You're sorry.
We are still here. These are our stories. We share them with you. Who we are, what we've gone through, and the path that lay ahead.
Greetings. Welcome to Every Child Matters. It's an important day today because we are honoring the children. Quill, along with my other grandchildren, are third generation residential school survivors. They are here with their parents who are second generation survivors, and they are here with their grandparents who are the children who went to residential schools. Residential schools was about the children. And we are here to learn about this dark history, but to show the survival, the resilience, the courage, and the love that our communities have for our children. And those survivors, they are here today. They stand with us. Reconciliation cannot happen without the truth. It begins with the truth, the foundation of truth. No matter how sad or how bad that truth may be, it must be told. The future belongs to the children. All the children, all the children. Our children matter. You matter. A Northern Shuswap First Nation woman from Canoe Creek, British Columbia. Phyllis is the author and the creator of Orange Shirt Day. She will share with you her remarkable story. She will share with you her inspirations. Thank you. Miigwech.
Guksjam, thank you, Elder Claudette Commanda, for that introduction. Wade Chochwade na Elia na Canada. Phyllis Webstad Renskwaugst. Strachum Chatlum Slakwin. Hello, everyone here in Canada. My name is Phyllis Webstad. I'm from the Canoe Creek Dog Creek First Nation in Secwepemc-Ulach, the land of the Shuswap people here in Williams Lake, BC. Today is Orange Shirt Day. I thank you for wearing an orange shirt today in honor of residential school survivors and their families and in remembrance of those that never made it home. I am third generation residential school survivor. My grandmother attended for 10 years along with her 10 children. When I turned 6 in July of 1973, Granny brought me to town to buy something for my first day of school. I chose a shiny new orange shirt. It was bright and exciting, just like I felt to be going to school for the first time. When I got there, my shirt was taken away and I never wore it again. You are our future. You will make sure that this history is never repeated. When I see people wearing an orange shirt or an Every Child Matters pin, for us survivors, it's like a little bit of justice in our lifetime for what happened to us. Kuksjam, thank you.
Today I'm speaking from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Originally, I am from Chesterfield inlet, Nunavut. I'm here to bring words of welcome to you on behalf of my people and the tens of thousands of Inuit that attended residential schools. The way in which Inuit like to welcome others is by the lighting of the qulliq. This fire represents the many fires that were burned inside of our homes for tens of thousands of years. Inside of our homes, we raised our children to be Inuit. We taught them our culture, our customs, traditions, and values. This fire here speaks to the importance of our homes. Our homes were disrupted by the residential schools. Our children were taken away, sometimes to places thousands of kilometers away from our communities, and many children never returned. Today, we Inuit are proud to share our culture with you. We want you to know who we are, and we want to share our gifts with you. We want you to know about our lands, and we want you to know about the climate changes that are happening all over the world. Reconciliation to me means rebuilding our families, rebuilding who we are as Inuit, so that our children are never hurt by anyone ever again. I hope you join us in this work of reconciliation. Kuya Namit.
Egypt Daily Siburo.
Hello, Tanshe, bonjour, Washteda, Ainin, Tanse. I'm very happy to be here with all of you in this special place of our ancestors, here in the cemetery where our great leader, Gabriel Dumont, is buried, and all those that took part in the resistance of the Métis Nation. I ask our Creator, our God, to come and be with us today, and we invite all the spirits of those ancestors that are laying here today. So as we talk about reconciliation, we talk about healing, we talk about empowerment, we talk about leaving a legacy for our children and our grandchildren. I'm here to pray and ask our Creator to continue living with us in the hearts and the minds of us Métis, the Michifs, and leave a legacy for our children and our grandchildren. Merci. Thank you.
I'm here at this historic meeting place of the Assiniboine and Red Rivers in Winnipeg, Manitoba. This place has been a gathering place for nations for millennia. So they've come together to talk about the past, the present, where we're going. Right here, at the middle of this circle, we lit a very important fire, the first of 8 fires that were lit during the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's work. This first fire that we lit was the fire of respect. Why? Because reconciliation is all about respect. It starts with respect. Respecting one another, respecting Indigenous peoples, respecting the land. This fire marked really the start of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's work across the country. We listened to thousands of survivors and we shared with them their pain, their hope, their dreams. And they asked us to in turn share their stories with you, the young people of Canada. And why? Well, they want you to know what it is that this country has done. They want you to know this country's history. Most importantly, they want to ensure that no child anywhere, ever, has to endure what they did in those residential schools.
To all my relations, on behalf of my RBC family, and to the many thousands of Indigenous brothers and sisters who have passed on and have joined us here in spirit, I'm a residential school survivor. I have firsthand knowledge of the devastating impacts of the residential school experience. I came early to talk about what the residential experience did to thousands and thousands of innocent children.
Chief Fontaine, what information did you bring to the church authorities you met with in Winnipeg today?
We talked about physical abuse, we talked about psychological abuse, deprivation, and of course, sexual abuse.
What form of abuse were you talking about in your own case?
Well, that's something that's, as you well understand, incredibly delicate, sensitive, and very, very much a private matter.
It will require a deep commitment, courage, and determination to speak the truth about this experience that really represents a missing chapter in Canadian history.
For more than a century, Canada's system of residential schools separated over 150,000 First Nations, Inuit, and Métis children from their families. Residential schools were a calculated system focused on individual and cultural assimilation, or to kill the Indian in the child. Residential boarding schools are older than Canada itself. The first school opened in the early 1830s, and the last residential school closed as recently as the late 1990s. Successive generations of families went to residential schools. The government allowed children to suffer discrimination and abuse, including malnutrition, At some schools, children were subjected to nutritional experiments. Many of the people and institutions who were entrusted with the care and protection of the children instead subjected them to discrimination, hardship, neglect, and emotional, physical, and sexual abuse, leaving a multi-generational legacy of pain and trauma. Residential schools focused on assimilation, cutting the long hair of children and cutting their ties to their culture. Children were punished severely and sometimes even beaten for speaking in their language or following their traditions. Indigenous children were isolated from their homes and their communities, from the nurturing support of their parents, from their language, from their traditions, and from their cultures.
Not only did they lose their culture, they also was punished by severe abuse, horrific abuse. I mean, how is it possible that we would go through something like that? And, you know, a lot of us done our best to survive from those kinds of things.
Thousands of Indigenous children died while attending residential schools. Some of these buildings still stand. The unmarked graves that scatter the country lie silent.
Our community has the Portage Indian Residential Schools at our Kishkimakwa Reserve near Portage Prairie. We've been working on keeping that building, restoring it as a heritage place, and it's important that we have that. Some people won't go into the building. For some of our elders, they won't go near the place, and I understand that. It's a reminder that we're still here. It's a legacy, perhaps not ours, but we can be part of it, and it's okay. Yeah.
Today, residential school survivors still carry the scars of abuse. Many of those scars have been passed down to the generations who have followed. But the survivors are also strong. They have fought hard to bring their experiences to light and continue to demand justice and accountability. This has paved the way for the reclamation of cultural traditions, relearning of languages, and healing.
Our Indian residential school experiences matter because we matter. And we need to carry on with courage and honor our culture, our languages, our families, our communities. And we can be resilient. We are still resilient. We're still here, and we will continue to be.
My traditional name is Hyalth Kingame. Through my father, I'm Kwakwaka'wakw and Coast Salish, and through my mother, I'm English, Irish, and Scottish. I'm here to introduce my project, The Witness Blanket, a large work of art made from objects, documents, and photographs gathered from residential schools across Canada. I made it to honor residential school survivors, including my own father, and to record the truth of what happened to them when they were taken away from their families. Altogether, our team collected over 880 different objects from every province and territory. Each one of them is a witness. Each one is part of the truth. Each one tells a story.
My first day was the saddest day of my life.
Today I'm speaking an imitation language, a foreign language.
I am caught between two cultures, the non-native culture and the native culture.
Some kids had very little to eat, porridge that had maggot in there.
Remember what happened, Dad? This will never, never happen to our people again.
Through art, these pieces and stories are woven together into the form of a blanket. From babies bundled up when they are born, to shrouds for journeys to the next world, blankets give comfort throughout our lives. In some cultures, blankets carry memories. In others, they are offered to uplift the spirit. This blanket is made to witness. In the oral traditions of my ancestors, A witness watches, listens, and then remembers and retells what they learned. I invite each of you to be a witness, to honor survivors by telling your friends and families about what you see and hear.
Good day, all my relations. I wanted to take a minute and explain a little bit about my video Zuye. So the word Zuye in the Sioux language means the journey. And my film tells a little story about that journey that I'm on in my life.
Hey, oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, hey,
My name is White Owl Woman. My English given name is Ariel Wasquitch Crawler. I went through a stage in life where I fell into depression and feeling like I wasn't enough. I felt like a failure because I never finished high school. I was lost. But because of the challenges I faced when I was younger, it made me who I am today. I feel like we are walking in two worlds. One being our cultural side, the hunting, the beating, and the sewing, making dry meat. And then there's the other world, the Wasiju world, where there's cars, buildings, and just a bunch of chaos. I am a woman's northern traditional dancer. It brings me back to my culture. It reminds me of where I come from, and not to forget it. To my dear relatives and loved ones, striving to walk the red road, the Trunku Luta, I support you, and my heart is always with you. I want you to know I love you, and I will always sing and pray alongside you. Each step you take strengthens your spirit. Nothing is impossible. You're done.
Some of the material in this program will open up many feelings within you. If you or anyone you know needs support, reach out to the National Residential School Crisis Line at 1-866-925-4419. To reach the Kids Helpline, text CONNECT at 686-868.
Choyanami Inuktitut School in Iqaluit for keeping your strong Inuktitut voices. Rita Jo wrote the poem I Lost My Talk about losing her Mi'kmaq language, but she was also talking about the loss of understanding that comes when people cannot talk to each other or simply do not talk. I heard so much about that as a Truth and Reconciliation Commissioner. Kids who were silenced, cut off from brothers, sisters, parents, and forced to keep secrets about what was happening to them. Those do not talk habits are hard to break as adults. That's why a new program in British Columbia is so important, family healing.
My 14-year-old son got mad at me and told me that he needed me and he didn't want my addiction to cause my death because I was needed.
Before I came here, I never really had much information on what was going on in, my parents' lives and my grandparents' lives. My dad, he had gone to residential school as well as his brothers, and so did my grandmother. I can definitely feel the effects with what's gone on in residential school, so it's really nice to know a way that I can go about righting some of those wrongs.
My whole personal background is based in that pain, and so I went off and got some training with Jane Middleton Moss through the Indigenous Trauma and Resiliency. It's a master's program out of the University of Toronto. Everything I learned there, I brought back to the center. We set up the social, emotional safety for families that come here through a cultural lens.
That's a great example of what the TRC called reconciliation in relationships, not just between Indigenous and non-Indigenous, but also within families. The program helps parents and kids give each other something special. So now how about this for special? Slam poetry about intergenerational survivors.
The First Nations people were put on a certain part of the land because they wanted to separate us from the others. So, am I supposed to thank them? Am I supposed to thank them for the reserve I live on? Am I supposed to thank them for leaving me and my family a little bit of land that has no streams, no fish, no trees? Because that matters to me. And I know what you're thinking. Why is she talking? She wasn't even there. It doesn't even affect her. No. I was there. I was there when the father whipped my grandpa. I was there when the sister took my grandma's hair away from her. I was there when they told them that they were savages. I was there when they took my native tongue away. And don't tell me to shut up because I've stayed quiet for too damn long. I want you to hear my voice because they wouldn't hear theirs. I don't know what they were feeling, but I know that my ancestors are still healing. They're looking down on my generation and they're grieving. Because I don't really know my language, I don't really know my culture, so how am I supposed to really know myself? So yes, I was there. I was there when they took my native tongue away. I was there.
And today we're all here in this together. You heard earlier about Orange Shirt Day. Depending what part of Canada, we could just as easily say Fur Mitts Day, or New Sealskin Kamiks, or beaded moccasins, or parka my grandma made me, or any of the other treasures that were taken away from kids at school and never seen again, including, as you'll see next, a treasured doll.
We have these gatherings, and that's part of our healing. One of them was Truth and Reconciliation. And we had workshops for our former students. One of them brought a book showing her picture of herself with the dolls. And I asked her, "You had dolls?" She said, they just had dolls for that one day. Picture taken. After the picture was taken, they had to give their dolls up again. And I said, that's where my doll went. My brother, my sister, we each had dolls. My mother got sick. There was nobody to look after us. I was told we went on the train. I must have slept all the way. I remember going up those concrete stairs, still waiting for my dad, but he never came. And my chore was dusting the baseboard with a rag. I didn't have any toys, so I used some kind of rag, something like this. This would be my doll. And I would have lots of dolls. When I got home, every Christmas I would look for my doll. But I couldn't find any. I remember going to antique stores. Everywhere I went, the first place I looked for is the dolls. Then I saw this doll, and I looked at it and almost looked like my doll. But it isn't. And I was holding it as if it was a lost child. And I couldn't let it go. It is important for children to have toys. I was in the hospital when you told me they were interested in making a doll. And the only thing that kept me going was I got to talk about my doll.
Inuit experience residential school in very much the same way as First Nations and Métis, but in very different places and sometimes in very different timelines. We had our names taken away from us. We had teachers punish Inuit for speaking our language, Inuktitut. We spent the majority of the year away from our homelands and away from our families. And the effect of residential school still exists to this day. My father went to residential school, and that had a massive impact on my life and continues to this day. So to think about residential schools on this day, think about the loss of life, the loss of culture, the loss of language. These are all terrible, terrible things that happened and happened to Inuit over the course of generations.
Pourquoi avez-vous arraché les miens aux bras de leurs parents? Qui étiez-vous pour vider mon village de ses enfants? Je suis le descendant de ces enfants déracinés.
Je suis No de Maliotenal. À l'âge de 6 ans, j'ai commencé à fréquenter le pensionnat. وشكتنا دبنيهن كنت وسع أنا وشكتنا مزدو داوية لي pensionnat. نتمني هتشون نتم تاهو جمغو دانجنا كوبي هتكن جون نشته موتا. Neodnis stod mas behejaan sa mstuizi gono da coachi tabaham dihan din nin danyo uskat danyo. Namnendene ko kasi kasnama ne ihne yan da inuskoya. Hat meskadi yan ko.
Les blessures du passé ne sont pas encore complètement refermées. Mais l'espoir de mon peuple s'est ravivé. Même si l'ombre des pensionnats plane encore sur nos communautés, je sais que la jeunesse d'aujourd'hui trouvera le moyen de s'en libérer.
Into those souls who pass, whose world didn't last. We're here to sing your song, 'cause although you may
One of the impacts of residential school that we heard about from children was that they never had a birthday recognized as a child. So we decided as a commission to hold a birthday party at every one of our national events because it was so important. Getting emotional here. It's just so important for a child to be given the opportunity to commemorate a birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I want to sincerely wish all the survivors that are watching a very, very happy birthday.
I like to sing and express my soul. Follow my dreams, I won't let them go. When life gets tough, I know it's not the end. 'Cause I'm not alone, I've got my friends. Make the best of everything you've got. You have the power inside your heart. Let's tell the world that we're all the same and heal together when we all feel pain. Let's make the best of every day we see. Combine the colors of you and me. Let's tell the world, discover just what we can be. Hello, hello, is anybody listening? Bonjour, bonjour, to everybody living here. Watch out, our home is filled with color and love. Quay, 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 these are things important to us.
I work real hard to get to where I wanna be. Working together with my team as I follow dreams. I try, I'm never gonna say goodbye. Lifting each other up, every day we fly.
We bring each other down, it's so stressful. Turn the attitude around and be successful. Always remember to share and include. Keeping our pride is what we're daring to do.
My friends I like to support. I know that life is too short. I wanna reach out and change the world around me today.
I wanna see progress, 'cause all I'm seeing is the nonsense. This is the process, so I'm riding with my people and we got this. Our love is the food for the thoughtless.
Make the best of everything you've got. You have the power inside your heart. Let's tell the world that we're all the same and heal together when we all feel pain. Let's make the best of every day we see. Combine the colors of you and me. Let's tell the world, and these are things important to us.
Talking about what you saw with a trusted friend, family member, elder, or teacher helps. If you or anyone you know needs support, reach out to the National Residential School Crisis Line at 1-866-925-4419. To reach the Kids Helpline, text CONNECT at 686-868.